Reddit user Jason Dez says, can you drop a how-to build on YouTube or something? This is cool. Yes, I can. This video is sponsored by... If you are here from Reddit, you may have seen one of these posts with one of these two fighters. There's also another post on YouTube with the big one as well. I'm going to show you the general concepts you need to make a fighter sort of like this. I'm going to make a general design that you can follow. I'm not going to copy any one of these designs exactly. Here we go. First of all, just make sure you have all the correct materials. I put them up on the screen for you. Some of these are paid parts, and you can do the same general thing with free parts. It's all the same functionality and concepts. If you don't have the same flooring as me, you can just use whatever flooring you have. It doesn't need to have the curves. Starting off, I'm just using a jack piece, and then I'm putting 4 pieces of futuristic flooring number 4 down. To make a smaller craft, replace the front 2 pieces of floor number 4 with a futuristic corner piece, and then build off of that. But for this one, we're gonna add 2 corner pieces of the futuristic floor to the front, and then 2 to the outside on each side. And then we're gonna add another piece of futuristic floor number 4 to the back, and then we're going to fill in any areas we want to with the sunny floor corner just to add some bubbliness and cloudiness to it. Probably the most useful technique of the whole video is this one right here, which is flipping pieces upside down. Really all that's happening here is you're making it possible to place a block in any direction that you're already placing a pressure plate. So place your pressure plate somewhere where it's out of the way. Use your cursor and point it at the black part of the pressure plate that is closest to the surface that you want to put it on, and then nudge the object that you want to move away from it and put it where you want to place it. In this example, I'm using that to flip flooring around so I can use that to put these iron guardrails, the fenders, down on, and I basically use these as skis to land on instead of wheels. Once you place one piece of flooring down, it's really easy to build the rest of it from here. So at this point, you can actually get rid of this pressure plate, and then you can also do this on the sides of the floors. So if you put a pressure plate out of the way on the side, you kind of have more liberty onto where you can put these pieces of flooring and make very thin crafts. Once you're done with it, just get rid of that pressure plate, and then you can kind of design the back end however you want. I usually just put a few extra pieces of flooring on the back. And then I like to grab some of these other fenders and kind of make a spoiler wing out of them, or just a wing, I guess, out of them. And you can basically just attach them to the side of these ones, of these vertical floors we have here. You just have to nudge them into the right position. And then for the back wing, it's just 2 long pieces of thin flooring. So you just put 2 long pieces back there and it makes 1 long back wing. Now we can get to work on some more serious systems like the turning and stuff like that, and this is kind of going to look different for each design, just because if you don't follow my design exactly, or if you decide to make a new one, it's never going to be balanced the same, and you're going to kind of have to mess with it yourself. But all I really do is put down one of these controlled swivel plates, and then what you connect to that is going to depend on how big and heavy your craft is and how many motors you're going to put on the front trolling motor. Usually just do 1 small motor, and I use a granite block, but sometimes I can get away with just using some floor pieces. Another really great concept to know, centering balloons. If you put down a deployed balloon and then you use the base of that to guide where you put your next balloon, it'll offset it by 1 little tiny bit that you can't normally do with a nudge. So I'll do it again here. You've got to point your pointer, your cursor, at the bottom of it, and it'll nudge it, offset it by just half of a nudge, and you can't do that otherwise. Don't know why that is, but it's really good to know, really good to have in the arsenal when making this sort of thing. Outside of that, it's pretty much just balancing it. I usually just put a bunch of balloons in symmetry around the perimeter of the vehicle just to balance it out, and then once I break it down and test it, I might adjust it from there. To gain elevation in this craft, I put one of these thrusters here on the bottom, and then I use that to basically feather my way up with my forward thrusters, so then I'm facing upward. To get higher, obviously you need more forward thrusters, but it makes for a very, very acrobatic and fun fighter jet-like experience when you're flying. Speaking of forward thrusters, we are putting them on the back plate here. You can basically put them in any configuration you want. The more the merrier most of the time. Just make sure that you put them low and on the same plane that your floor pieces are on, and it'll fly a lot better that way. This part's optional, but I like to fill up this bottom floor space down here with some floor planes. That way I can hang some chests from the bottom. Once I got it on the ground here, you can see that. And as long as everything is balanced and there's nothing weighing down one side, it should be pretty much done. Now you can put down a seat, and also make sure you get out your wrench and fix all of the different settings. Make sure that you have them set for whatever your preferred controls are. I'm on PC, so I do balloons on channel 2, which is F for me. I do boosters on channel 1, which is R for me. I do my bottom booster on V, which is channel 4, and then I do my swivel booster on channel 3, which is C. And then I can also control the swivel plate with shift and space, and that's basically how you control it. And those are my controls. They might be different for you, especially if you're on console, so definitely take that all with a grain of salt. Definitely don't be like me, don't take off without fixing everything first. But that's pretty much how you build one of these vehicles. I did kind of go with a medium-sized one here just to show the intermediary between the very, very small scouting vehicle I have and then the very large version of this that I use to take stuff across long distances on the map and do big hauling missions and stuff like that. So thank you very much for watching. This is my first actual real video on this channel, and yeah, we'll see you maybe again later. Bye.